Yitro, something. Yitro saw Moshe Rabbeinu sitting and judging the nation from morning until night. And then he said to him, "Why are you sitting alone? All the people are coming to you from morning till night." So he said, "I can give you advice. And you'll see Moshe yivchar shnei alafim. He's gonna pick ministers of thousands and of hundreds and tens, that they should judge at all times. Only the big things they should bring to you. Ali dekach vaychalt amud v'gam kol ha'am hazeh al mekabo yavo b'shalom." So they brought like a peace upon the people with this new setup. So there is a known question on this, brought in the Akedah, Abarbanel, Shachal, Torah, and other places. How could it be that Moshe Rabbeinu is the Raya Mehemnia of the Jewish people? Lo chashash ba'atzmo she'ofen hanhagato yachol lavol yedei navol ha'am. He didn't see that it could bring upon the situation where it wasn't, like a healthy thing. There's very simple advice of get a team going. Get a team. You do it all yourself. It's like someone started a company. And he says, "I'll just do all departments." And then someone comes along and says, "Hey, listen, you should get some other people to do the other departments. You do the top department." Oh, wow. He didn't think about it by himself.
But the same thing with Moses. His father told him, "You can't do anything yourself."
That's what we're saying right now. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
If you want something done right, you do it yourself.
That's a good point. Yeah. And only Yitro, the priest of Midian, he came for a short period of time. He came with this great idea. What's going on? Mikach muvan shemoshe savar. From this, we see that Moshe holds Vachen zoi hamet mitzad dargat Moshe shuhu yachol v'tzarich lasot b'shvitat ha'am ba'atzmo. Moshe Rabbeinu held that this is the true way, that he has to deal with the judging of the nation by himself, whether it's big or small. But the lo yazik lo v'lo b'nei Yisrael, won't damage him or the Jewish people, in a way that she veichalt amud v'gam kol ha'am hazeh al mekomo yavo b'shalom. He thought basically, according to the true levels of what should happen, Moshe should actually be involved in everything. He's Moshe, If you want it to get done, you got to do it yourself. You can't rely on anyone else, right? They're just hired for the job. They're not going to do a good job, right?
Didn't Yitro come and bring Moses and wife and his children to him in the desert?
What did you say?
Yitro. Didn't he bring Moses' wife and his children? When he left them behind, he brought them. That's why he met them in Egypt.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Was there for what?
No, that's why he was present at the time when he saw.
Right, but it says over here that he was only there for a little period of time, and he came with this idea. This another proof that this is a way of Moshe to judge the nation from the morning till the night. How is that according to the Torah the true way? Nitan Lilmod, it says in the Rashi says in the beginning of Parsha that the Shem Yeter or Yitro, Jethro, is Al Shem Sheyiter Parsha Chad B'Torah V'ata Techezeh. It says because he added a parsha in the Torah, and you will see. So the fact that he added a parsha, so we call him Yitro. Midiuk shel Chazal sheiter parsha chad b'Torah. This that the sages say that he added a parsha in the Torah, v'lo shu zacha she'parsha ne'amra al yodo, and not that he merited that the parsha will be called or written by him. Which means there wasn't like it was a parsha and God's like, what's the name of the parsha? It's Yitro. No, he didn't do that. Because Yitro came, they added a parsha. That's what the sages say. Okay.
Is that like when they this case, because Yitro came and showed kavod, so to speak, they gave him a parsha, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, it's saying because of what he did, whatever, they added a parsha in. It's not like they had a parsha and they were deciding the name, and they said, okay, we'll give it to Yitro. We'll sell this parsha to Yitro.
So what about in the case of Balak? We named the parsha after Balak.
Yeah, that's a question. What about it?
Balak was an enemy of the Jewish people.
Yeah, there is some sichos on that parsha. We'll get there when the parsha comes.
I can answer.
Yeah, what's the answer?
If you permit me.
Well, he also made the prophecy about Mashiach.
Balak and Balak.
Oh, Bilam, yeah.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to show all the Amim that, because all the Amim they were saying, for sure, if you would have given us like Moshe Rabbeinu, we would have done like Am Israel. You want somebody like Moshe Rabbeinu? I'm going to give you somebody who is on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. He has the same level
Prophecy.
of Moshe Rabbeinu Balak. He had the same level. Bilam. He had the same. He knew at what time HaKadosh Baruch Hu was a split second when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going to get angry. So he gave them, but they didn't do like Moshe did to Am Israel. They didn't follow. So this is a show for all the Amim. They don't even merit somebody to like Moshe Rabbeinu, because they're going to ask in the future, if you would have given us Moshe Rabbeinu, we would have done the same as Am Israel. I gave you Balak. Look what you did.
But
Okay.
they don't call the parsha Bilam, they call it Balak. Balak hired Bilam.
That's right. It's the same.
It's a good question. We can look to see if there's some answer on that.
Shaliach Yemuto.
Oh, so if you're like Moshe, מובן שבאמצעות יתרו לא רק נתגלה פרשה ואתה תחזה, אלא יותר מכך, יתרו גרם להוסיף בתורה. Yitro caused an addition to the Torah. Through Yitro, a parsha was added to the Torah. אתה תחזה, you will see, שלא הייתה לפני כן בתורה מצד עצמה, which means the Torah by itself, the way it was before Yitro said, hey Moshe, get some people to help you. It wasn't the same until Yitro came and added that. So because Yitro came and said that, it literally added a parsha in the Torah that didn't exist before, which means it's basically according to the perspective of Moshe, which is Moshe emes Torah so emes. According to that daya, Moshe takes care of everyone. That's it. Yitro came along. He said, "Hey, there's a new perspective here." Parsha added because of that new perspective. It didn't exist al pi Torah emes. When then Yitro came and brought it in, and the Torah said, accepted new parsha because of that. What did he do? What was he bringing into the pictures that was actually so strong that a whole parsha? It should have been 52 parshas. Okay, so now from this we understand before Yitro added this in the Torah, according to the Torah, the true Torah by itself, the aspect of you will see did not exist. According to the Torah's Elmis, before Yitro, Moshe actually, according to Torah, would have to judge every single case by himself. Okay. Yeah, there's a proof for this. It says in the Rambam that it says La'olam yeh din elef maneh v'din pruta achad shavin beinecha lechol davar. Okay, if you have a court case, let's say you that's a big dispute over $5 million. They're going to be angry, right? They don't want to lose the money. You have to take it very seriously. Okay, and the next day comes a dispute, 1 shekel dispute. You got to take it as seriously. This is equal. That's according to the Moshe perspective. It says the biggest case, the smallest case, Moshe's got to do it. It's equal. It's all equal. Fighting like it's also your kids fighting over a toy. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing as adults fighting over money.
Don't we say don't judge one mitzvah for another mitzvah or something? What's that concept?
Because you don't know the schar, that's a different thing. You don't know the reward for the mitzvah. We have to look at each mitzvah. Yeah, I mean, you look at it equally, exactly. According to, exactly. So now, but according to this, we don't understand the other hand. So basically, on the other hand, if Moshe would have done that, it would have brought it to a state of peace. You judge all the cases, and at the end of the day, he would just do it. So why did Yitro even have a concern that his actions will bring to a negative state, and that it's kaved in chadavar, that it's heavy for you to do this? Which means Al Pi Torah's emes, Moshe had the power to do it, and he would have, spent all day judging the cases. This guy took my things, this guy stole my stickers, and everyone, whatever. You just have to judge each case equally. So, why is there chash? Meaning Al Pi Torah, that's how it should have been. So, what kind of a concern did Yitro have to say differently if the Torah says like that? Okay, so now העניין בקשר לטענת יתרו לאחר לוחות שניות של יום כיפורים. After we got the second luchos of Yom Kippur, שמשה העריך את עצמו ואת ישראל, שלא כמשתמע מטענת יתרו, שבכל ומחובתם לפשט על ידי משה עצמו, וללמוד ממנו רק את חוקי אלוקים על תורתיו ואת משפט הדבר גדול. So basically what happened was, after they got the second luchos in Yom Kippurim, that Moshe talked about himself and the Jewish people, and that he had that he has the ability and the obligation to judge through Moshe himself, and to learn from him only the Chukei Elokim and Toratav, and the Mishpat Adavar Gadol, Dome Le'inyan HaNimtze Lifneichen, once again, Miyad Lachar Aseret Dibrot. So after the first Luchot, okay, what happened was, it says, B'Kesher Yisrael, it says, Shetanu, She'en B'chotem Lishmoa Et Kol Hashem Elokeinu Od. We cannot hear the voice of Hashem more. It says in Parshat V'Etchanan, Bikshu Moshe, when they asked Moshe, you speak to us. Because they couldn't handle Hashem, they said, I think because they were dying every time God spoke, right? So okay, we can't handle that anymore, it's too much. Moshe, you talk to us. Because Moshe basically thought that everyone could be like his level, and then they couldn't do it, so they said, Moshe, you talk to us. Vasher al kach ta'an Moshe, and Moshe came along and said, Shemash ma'uta shel ve'at, in you. Why did they say ve'at for Moshe if Moshe is a man, and ve'at is lashon nekeva is hishtatem et kochi kenekeva shenitztarti aleichem urafitem et yadi. He says, you weakened me, my power, like that of a woman, because you made me worry upon you and you loosened my hands. Why don't you guys want to learn from Hashem straight and not for me? You weakened me by saying that. Klomar, lefi ha'arachato shel Moshe et Yisrael. According Moshe Rabbeinu, the way he saw the Jewish people, the way he measured us out, Moshe said, I'm learning Torah from Hashem, you guys could do it too. That's Moshe looked at us at a high level. He said, you guys could learn directly from God. You don't have to go through me. But Hashem accepted the claim of the Jewish people. Heitivu kol asher dibru, kol mikra shelanu, like in Hashem's case here, that Hashem agreed to the Eitzah of Yitro. Kach she'inyan hefech leparsha b'Torah. She'inyan hafa, until this turned into a parsha in the Torah. So basically, we're comparing what happened in the Luchot Rishonot and Shnios. In the Luchot Rishonot, we said Moshe was too intent to learn from God straight. We want to learn from you. Moshe said, you weakened me by saying that. Hashem said, I accept what you said. Moshe, now you got to teach them. You got to talk to them, not me. And then we're comparing it to what happened here, that Moshe is like, I'm going to talk to the Jewish people. Only me and the Jews. I have to judge every case. Yitro comes along. He says, what's going on here? It's not the proper way. Even though Al Pi Torah, that was the way. And then Hashem accepted Yitro's claim, just like Hashem accepted the Jewish people's claim when they complained. Okay, so now.
Is it showing Moshe Rabbeinu's anava? Is it also anava?
For sure. It is another because he's saying everyone could be like me. You don't have to.
Right. He didn't think
You guys could do it too. I'm not special. There's a midrash. It says that they looked at his face. They saw he had anger. He had this. You know a midrash? And then he transformed all the things until he got to the moichin rechavim. It says in the Yom Yom. I forget which day, but it says he got after many years of avodah. You got like an expanded mind. And he was able to have communications with Hashem straight.
because they didn't even want to go to Rosh,
Yeah.
He was up to it.
Right. Gam kan kashalavin. Also over here, it's hard to understand. The difference between the level of the Jewish people, then through Moshe's measure of it, that they were able to learn from Hashem straight. Levein Dagatal Masa in relation to their level in actuality, that they need to learn from Moshe is a very, very big difference. Which means Moshe's like, hey guys, you can learn from God also. But they weren't at that level. They said we can only learn from you. So the way that Moshe saw them was basically like and mentally higher than where they were actually holding. Okay. Okay. Now, Kitzli Techin Lomar Shemoshe Rabbeinu Haroel Lefarnes Shel Klal Yisrael Lo Yerich Kav Yochel Klal Lefi Haamet Et Matzav Tzor Marito. If you have sheep, you know what's going on with them. How did Moshe mistakenly say these guys are at this level, but they're really at this level? If you got to know who your sheep, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe an example of this when Yaakov and Esav meet, and Esav says, "Come along," and Yaakov says, "No, I have the young children.
Come along, it's good.
We need to take it." And it sounds like Moshe's not doing that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hear a comparison between what Moshe's thinking and what Yaakov does, because Yaakov says, "No, we have to wait."
Right.
And when Moshe does, like, meaning that why was Moshe too anticipated? Maybe like he saw, if the Jewish people do this, then this will happen.
Well,
it didn't happen.
yeah.
So he's rushing them.
It could. We're going to see now when Moshe looks at the Jewish people, it actually caused them to be at a higher level. We're going to explain this is right. Like, how did Moshe look at us? And we could talk to God, and we're like, we're not there yet, you know. So what's going on? So one thing we could say is, you can't say Moshe Rabbeinu made a mistake. That wasn't the case. Chasha, in the way he measured the level of Jewish people, but the kavanah is when Moshe Rabbeinu looks at a Jewish person, when they're together with him, and like it says, Leolam Yadu Adam beBakom Rabo. The person should always live in the place with his teacher. His teacher could look at him and be with him. When the teacher looks at you and you're with the teacher, then you actually go to a higher level. And you can learn Torah when the Jews are with Moshe, they can actually learn Torah mipi gvura straight from God Himself, because you're with Moshe and He's looking at you. You're elevated to a new level. Since Moshe lifts them up to his level, so therefore, lefichach kishem shehu lomed kama Torah. Just like Moshe learned Torah straight from Hashem, so he also is influencing that on the Jewish people. They should also learn from the mouth of the Gvura as well by being with him. But the Jewish people came along and said, we're only learning Torah at this level from God straight because we're with Moshe and he's elevating us to that level. But they want to receive the Torah without, with the vessels of their own understanding. It's cool, that he could give us this new elevated level and we learn from God straight, but we want to do it the way we are. That was really what's going on with their own koach. Because it says basically the Torah you're learning from the koach atzmo has an advantage of getting everything milamaila. God could say, okay, here you go, everyone. Or like you go to get some shiraim and you go to new levels. But the work that you did by yourself obviously is more pressure because it's harder. You could get the downloads from different people. and eat the shirayim and feel high levels of kedusha, which is cool experience, and it gets really elevated in kedusha. But when you do it to kol chatzmo, it's like a different thing.
You learn something or you get a freebie.
Right.
Why Moshe didn't know that?
Oh, good question.
Learning the Zohar without the Arizal.
What was the story with I think it was the Maggid, the Vol.16, when someone didn't understand the Zohar, so he was explaining it to him, and he's like, no, let me explain you what's saying in the Zohar. And he started explaining it, and then everything started actually happening around him. It's like, this is what the Zohar means, It was Vol.16, right? This is how to learn the Zohar, Okay, so they want to learn at their own level, that we're on their own. According to this, Hashem said, "Ebitu kol asher dibru." Because when you're learning Torah with your own kelim, then you're actually going to grab it within your inner parts of yourself. Because if not, it's not going to be so of your inner own experience, okay? As it says, the person should always learn Torah where his heart desires, right? That means it has to come from you. Okay? Let's continue. What do you say? Exactly, yeah. Now, what does it mean that Moshe got weakened? When the Jewish people are like, we want to learn Torah with our own vessels. We don't have to go to you to do it. Moshe Rabbeinu said, you made me weak like a girl. What was he saying? Good question, right? From this we can understand what it means. שאינו מצביע על רגש של צער, ניצרתי עליכם, אלא מדגיש בעיקר את העניין של החולשה. He's coming to emphasize the aspect of getting weakened and loosening of the hands. Seemingly it's difficult to understand. How could this cause a weakening of Moshe? The explanation is the following. Since in order Kadesh Moshe Rabbeinu Yilmad Torah et Yisrael Lefi Retzonam, if Moshe Rabbeinu wants to teach Torah to the Jewish people according to their will, Ve'at Tedaber Aleinu, you shall speak to us. Haya alav la'oredet midagato. He actually had to lower himself from his level to teach them at their level. Ki'im ta'ir az daragat Moshe begilui bimlo Otsamata, because when Moshe Rabbeinu lowers himself to teach the people, then he causes the aspect of Moshe in the people to shine in a stronger way, in a stronger fashion. Yitro Muisa, and then the Jewish people will go up to the level of Moshe, and then they're going to be able to learn from Hashem himself and not from Moshe. Therefore, we had to have the fact that before that, Moshe had to get weakened. And that weakening means that he lowered his level. That's what weakening means. Tash kocha shemoshe kenekeva.